Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat about something, and this is going to be kind of funny to people who've been in my channel for a long time, or people who've been around the lifting world a long time. Probably even the title of this video alone will be hilarious to them. But it seems like we always have a generation of young, naive kids. I was dealing with this 7, 8 years ago here on YouTube, just like I deal with it now, of naive kids who just believe every guy who claims they're natural, and they're just like, well, why would they lie about it? Or this ludicrous idea that, well, since that guy doesn't look like Ronnie Coleman or doesn't deadlift 900 pounds, I believe him. And it's like, you've clearly never been around anyone who lifts. Like, seriously, guys who say that, you can tell that they are very, very new to lifting. And the reason I say that, when you get around gyms and talk to guys, you'll see plenty of guys who are tiny, who barely look like they lift, who use stuff. You'll find guys who struggle to deadlift 500 pounds who use pretty hefty and significant amounts of stuff, if you've been around a while. So that's not your criteria by which you judge. And no, not everyone who even uses things is going to have the look that you think they're going to have. In fact, unless they've dieted down quite lean and they're using specific combinations of things and they have the genetics for it, they're still not going to look how you think they're supposed to look on stuff. Okay, so that's a really, really bad way to go about it. And here's what I would say to people, because they're always like, well, this person who I follow, they said they're natural. Or they'll compare them to other people and say, well, this guy did it natural. And it's like, well, how do you know he did it natural? Because he said he did. Well, okay. And I want people to stop and think for a moment, who are not using critical thinking. You're telling me no one has ever lied about something to make large amounts of money? I mean, hopefully this is not a foreign concept to you. If you are not aware that this is a thing in the real world, that people have told lies for financial profit, you've probably never watched the news. You've probably never seen a movie or watched a television show in your entire life. Like, are you familiar with the world, or human nature, or human greed, or not even just greed, sometimes survival? Because there's a whole lot of fitness personalities that, without their fitness income, they would be homeless. They wouldn't have anything. All right? If you're not buying their ebook or their program or their supplements, they're broken out on the street. It's not even always about greed at that point, because they've chosen that career path. And it's a marketing term. It's marketing. I mean, the word natural itself, think about that for a moment. If you had never heard of, say, the bodybuilding or fitness world, when someone says natural, when dealing with something that's product or industry related, because that's what this is, right? This is an industry. It's an industry. It's to sell products. It might even be to sell ad space, right? If you're watching their YouTube videos, that's a product. They're selling the ad space for money. Okay? Those ads puts money in people's pockets, and they pay a lot more than you probably think they do. They pay a lot more than most people who make videos claim they do. All right? When do you hear the term natural? Where do you hear it at? To sell you something. It's a marketing buzzword that has no real meaning, right? This all natural product, all natural ingredients. It's natural, so it must be good. Which is quite stupid, actually. Anyone who's an expert in anything laughs at that and says, oh, that's ridiculous. Not even true. Just because something's natural doesn't mean it's healthy or good for you or wholesome. But that's the way it's been marketed for generations, that word. So do you think it's any surprise that bodybuilding and fitness world has picked up a marketing buzzword? Because what does the word natural normally mean? Not tampered with by humans? Do you think lifting weights is natural? Do you think weighing out everything you eat on a structured diet and taking, I don't know, protein and creatine and everything and actually having it weighed out Because that's what it is. Like that scoop, that's been weighed out by equipment, basically a lab. Okay? Do you think that meets the definition of the word natural? Do you think following a structured training program using artificially created weights and machines, is that natural? No, it's not natural. I'm not saying it's not healthy. I'm not saying it's not good. It is. That's healthy and good. It's a good thing to train. It's good for you. But that's not natural. So why did they pick that word? They picked that word because it's a marketing buzzword, not because it's truth. And then they've applied it to mean they don't use steroids. Now it's funny, a lot of them will use other drugs. Right? How many of these guys who claim natural, right there on camera, drink alcohol, smoke pot? Right? Well, we see that. So they're still willing to use drugs. They just don't use the drugs that would make them the most money or make them best at what they do for a living or compete in, right? They wouldn't do that. No, of course they wouldn't. They would only do them for fun, never for financial benefit. Of course not. Because they're natural. So, I'll let that sink in for a moment. And it's not even for health reasons, right? If a guy is willing to do this other stuff, do you think they avoid these other things for health reasons? Come on. And I'm not even bashing on alcohol or weed here, guys, particularly. But they're not particularly healthy. Just because there might be some medicinal purposes to cannabis doesn't mean that it's healthy. Right? It doesn't mean that it's good to smoke it. It's not good for your lungs. And anyone with two brain cells to rub together realizes that. It's not part of a healthy lifestyle. Drinking alcohol is not part of a healthy lifestyle. People choose to do it because they enjoy it. And I'm not judging. I'm fine with that. I don't care that people choose to do those things. That's their business, right? Dude, that's called being not being a judgmental prick. That's what someone wants to do. That's their business. But no, it's not because they want to be healthy. And it's the same thing when they're, oh, I'll do these things, but I don't do these others. You don't care about health. Shut up. Not really. You wouldn't be doing recreational stuff if health was your motivation. No, they just do it and lie about it. Because it's in their financial interest. And people would say, well, they would never lie. I believe them. They're honest. Well, how well do you know them? What is your determination of that? What's your determination of that? I mean, because reputation, is that really it? Because there have been phases, if you go through different years in the industry, there have been years where I was actually called by tons of people the most honest person in YouTube fitness, and I became known as the biggest liar in YouTube fitness. Right? I've been branded as both in different eras, by the way. Does that mean anything? The way you've been branded? People think he's not. Well, what's your evidence that this person is an honest person? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't know. And neither do you. You're basing if a person is honest or not based on how you feel about them or their internet reputation. How long have you known them personally? Like, how many years have you hung out with them? Like, do you actually know them? No, you just think they're honest because you're a fan and you like what they have to say. Guess what? People lie for financial gain. All the time. And I'm not even saying everyone who's lied for financial gain is a bad or a terrible person. Let's just be honest. That's just reality. Okay? Good people sometimes lie. There are bad people who are always honest. Right? There are some insidiously evil people out there who weren't known for being deceptive or lying. No, they told people what they were going to do to their victims. They admitted to it afterwards. Yeah, man, I hacked him up in little pieces, and right? Yeah, they're just happy to admit it. They're not liars, though. So it's not even always a judge of character, even. So people get upset when they're like, you're saying that this person I like would lie about their gear use. Yeah, of course they would. They're going to lie about their profitable illegal activity that they are probably doing if they're in the industry. The majority of the industry uses. Welcome to reality. That's the real world, guys. And then because there's financial and social incentive to lie about their illegal activity, which it may not be illegal, but in many cases it will be, is something that has a negative stereotype around it, which they will get backlash over, in which there is financial benefits to lying about it. Here's the reality. The majority of the industry lie about their use. Why? Because the second they admit it, well, why doesn't he look like Ronnie Coleman? Yeah, okay, because even Ronnie Coleman's competitors didn't look like Ronnie Coleman either, did they? And they were abusing insane amounts of stuff with great genetics. They couldn't even look like Ronnie Coleman. What makes you think you are? Come on. Get realistic here. Because they're going to be judged differently when they admit it. So most guys keep their mouth shut or they lie about it. And that's reality. But just because some guy tells you he's natural, if that's your reason for believing him, I'm not going to make fun of you. I'm just going to say that's very naive and you need to get some more life experience. Okay? You need some more life experience. Because you're going to get conned. Someone's going to take you as a fool and as a sucker if you don't get better life experience. Start using some critical thinking. Looking out for your best interest. Alright guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.